Hello, my name is Whitney, and today I would like to educate you on the boring yet important topic of insurance. For those who don't know, insurance is when you pay a premium to protect yourself from the possibility of a risk. You're providing protection for yourself and other people when you carry adequate coverage on your automobile. When an insurer has protection on their vehicle, they are not only following state law, they are also receiving liability protection, and some people choose to carry full coverage, meaning they have collision and comprehensive coverage. Let's say you choose not to carry insurance on your vehicle and you get into an accident. You're now held responsible for all the expenses, and you could possibly be looking into jail time and being in trouble with the law. The state of Kentucky requires you to have a minimum of 25 over 50 for bodily injury, meaning $25,000 per person and up to $50,000 per accident. This coverage provides you protection for other people if you're considered at fault in an accident. You must also carry, by law, $10,000 in personal injury protection, which covers anyone injured in your vehicle. Finally, you must legally carry $10,000 in property damage as well. This covers expenses that, if you hit their car and you damage their vehicle, this helps cover those expenses. Or even if you were to damage property, like actual property, that would cover that as well. If you do not carry this coverage, you're in legal trouble if an occurrence is to happen. You can not only be sued, but you're also going to be caught with all expenses in the accident. If the accident causes enough damage or even a fatality, you could be looking at jail time. Bottom line is, insurance is the law. Be smart and carry it. As I previously discussed, the state of Kentucky, you must carry 25 over 50 bodily injury, $10,000 in personal injury, and $10,000 in property damage. This is described as what we would call liability coverage. Carrying liability is not only the law, this helps you when you're in an accident. The coverage helps you pay for expenses to keep you from paying out of pocket. This coverage pays for medical expenses of passengers in the other vehicle if you're considered at fault in an accident. It also helps to cover medical expenses of your passengers in your vehicle, and, like I mentioned, property damage. The amount of money varies depending on the coverage you carry in your policy. People tend to carry liability if their vehicle doesn't hold much value, so there's not really as much to protect. But there are options and more coverages if you would choose to go that route. People who want to protect their vehicle also carry full coverage. This includes liability coverage, but it also adds what's called comprehensive and collision coverage. These coverages are what makes a huge difference for the cost of your insurance. Collision coverage means just as it sounds. If your vehicle collides with somebody or collides with something stationary, whether that be a tree or a fence post, your vehicle will be paid, the expenses will be paid by your insurance company. There's also comprehensive coverage. This is coverage for things out of your control. Like, let's say you're driving down the road and a deer jumps out in front of you. You're covered. Or a hailstorm comes and damages the paint on your vehicle. You're covered. Even theft. Theft counts. That's out of your control. But typically with this kind of coverage, there is what's called a deductible. A deductible is what you pay up front and your insurance company pays the rest of. The most common deductible is a $500 deductible. That means you pay the first $500 and the insurance company pays for the rest of the coverage. After you pay, people who have newer vehicles normally carry full coverage because they hold value and therefore you want to protect that value. So let's say you have a new car and you wreck it. Well, it's worth some money, so you want to cover that. I'm not sure how obvious this was, but as you can tell, I'm currently employed for an insurance agency. This is why it's so important for me to educate you on the topic of carrying insurance. Insurance is not only the law, it provides liability coverage for the other vehicle and also gives you the option of full coverage to protect and repair damages to your vehicle. There are many coverage options available to suit you and your budget, but it's very important that you provide adequate coverage for yourself. Sometimes it's necessary to provide more coverage for yourself in the case that you were in a large accident, but there's many options to choose from. Insurance is all about managing your risks, but sometimes a risk is out of your control. That's why insurance is provided. This keeps you from suffering significant financial loss, and everybody has to have it. It's the law. So today I hope you've learned a little bit about insurance and feel more comfortable about the topic. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great evening.